There is a chapter in the Quran, only 7 verses long, yet it holds the weight of an entire faith. It is the first surah revealed in full, the first chapter of the Quran, the first recitation in every prayer. It is called Surah-Al-Fatiha, the opening, but its power is far greater than its size would ever suggest. Every single day, around the world, millions of believers stand before Allah and begin their prayer with these 7 verses. Young and old, rich and poor, strong and broken, all begin with the same words, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And with those words, a direct conversation with Allah begins. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "There is no prayer for the one who does not recite Surah Al-Fatiha, not incomplete, not weak, invalid." Think about what that means. No matter how long your prayer is, no matter how many extra units you add, without Surah Al-Fatiha, your Salah does not stand. This alone shows us Al-Fatiha is not just a surah. It is the heart of prayer itself. In a Hadith Qudsi, Allah reveals something extraordinary. Allah says, "I have divided the prayer between me and my servant into 2 halves." And that prayer is Surah Al-Fatiha. Every time you recite it, Allah responds to you. Not silently, not indirectly, but clearly. When you say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, all praise belongs to Allah, Lord of all worlds, Allah says, "My servant has praised me." When you say, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, the most compassionate, Allah says, "My servant has glorified me." When you say, Malik Yawmiddin, owner of the Day of Judgment, Allah says, "My servant has entrusted me." And then comes the center of faith itself. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Allah says, "This is between me and my servant will receive what he has asked for." Let that sink in. Every single prayer, every single rak'ah, every time you recite Surah Al-Fatiha, Allah is responding to you. Not once in a lifetime, but multiple times every single day. Surah Al-Fatiha is not merely a recitation. It is a conversation, a prayer, a declaration, a promise, a lifeline. This surah begins with praise, but it is not empty praise. It teaches us who Allah is, the Lord of all worlds, the most merciful, the Master of the Day of Judgment. With just 3 verses, Allah introduces Himself to humanity. He is not distant. He is not cruel. He is not unaware. He is merciful, He is powerful, He is just, and He is in control of your future. Then Surah Al-Fatiha turns inward. It moves from belief to commitment. You alone we worship, not our desires, not our egos, not people, not wealth, not power, only Allah. And then comes the greatest admission a human being can ever make. and you alone we ask for help. This single sentence destroys pride, because it reminds us we cannot breathe without His permission. We cannot move without His will. We cannot succeed without His guidance. We cannot survive without His mercy. This verse frees us from dependence on the world. Because once you truly rely on Allah, everything else becomes secondary. Then comes the greatest request ever made by the human soul. Ihdina Sirat-ul-Mustaqeem. Guide us to the straight path. This is not a small request. This is a request for direction when we are confused, strength when we are weak, clarity when we are lost, stability when the world is shaking. We are not just asking for guidance once. We are asking for guidance again and again and again. Because guidance is not a destination. It is a daily struggle. Then Allah teaches us to be specific, not just any path, but the path of those whom Allah has already honored, the prophets, the truthful, the righteous, the sincere. And we ask Allah to protect us from two dangerous roads, the road of arrogance and the road of ignorance, the road of those who knew the truth but rejected it, and the road of those who were sincere but lost direction. So in just 7 verses, Surah Al-Fatiha teaches us who Allah is, who we are, why we worship, who we depend on, what we should seek, and what we should avoid. This is why scholars say Surah Al-Fatiha is the summary of the entire Quran. But the virtues of Surah Al-Fatiha do not stop at guidance alone. It is also known as Ash-Shifa, the cure. The Prophet ﷺ approved its use for healing. A companion once recited it over a tribal leader who had been bitten by a scorpion. By Allah's permission, the man was cured. But the greatest illnesses of our time are not only in the body, they are in the heart. Anxiety, depression, fear, loneliness, hopelessness, emptiness. And Surah Al-Fatiha is a cure for all of it. Because when the heart reconnects with Allah, healing begins. It is also called a Ruqyah, a spiritual shield, protection from evil whispers, jealousy, black magic, negative energy, and the traps of shaitan. A believer who recites Al-Fatiha with conviction walks with divine protection. The Prophet ﷺ was also told by Jibreel alayhi salam he was given 2 lights that no prophet before him had been given: Surah Al-Fatiha and the last verses of Surah Al-Baqarah. A light is something that removes darkness, and Surah Al-Fatiha is a light for confused hearts, lost souls, broken believers, tired worshippers. There was once a man who had everything the world could offer: money, status, success. But every night, his heart felt empty. No peace, no calm, no rest. One day, he stopped rushing his prayer. For the first time in his life, he slowed down Surah Al-Fatiha. He understood every word. And when he reached إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, he whispered, "Only you, Ya Allah, and only you. That night, his heart found peace, not because his world changed, but because his connection with Allah did. And this is the true miracle of Surah Al-Fatiha. It does not always change your situation immediately, but it changes you first. And when you change, your life follows. So the next time you stand in prayer, do not rush Surah Al-Fatiha. Pause after every verse. When you praise Allah, mean it. When you declare worship, commit to it. When you ask for help, depend on it. When you ask for guidance, beg for it. Because you are not speaking into emptiness.